So anybody watch Harlem? I put it on my community tab. Harlem is my hidden gem. And actually, I'm going to be talking about it briefly because we are discussing hidden gems. And if you haven't seen it, we want you to see it spoiler free. But I will be doing a premiere on my channel tomorrow, breaking down some of the funny moments and the storylines and predictions. I hope this show gets renewed. I sure hope it gets renewed. So let's go ahead and get it started. Okay. So,
Mhm.
excuse me. We have these four characters. This gives me Sex in the City meet Girlfriends. And this is actually the Run the World. This is what I wanted Run the World to be. This is better to me than Run the World. And I'll tell you why. The reason why it's better than Run the World for me is that the characters are likable. It felt like they tried so hard in Run the World to make those characters unlikable. That's where I had my problem at. But
Mhm.
these women, you definitely can get behind them. You can root for them. They they are flawed. Everyone is flawed, of course. Nobody's perfect. But I just think they did a better job at the balancing act of what they did rather than Run the World. So we have Megan Good as Camille, and she may serve as like your Carrie. That's your Carrie
Mhm.
Bradshaw character. Then we got Jerrie Johnson, and she is right here, the dark skinned one right here with the
Um,
short haircut. And
oh, okay.
she is LGBTQ. Her name is Ty. And she is what is she, a techie? Like she's up and coming in the tech world. Camille is actually a professor. She's a doctor. She has a doctorate degree. She's a professor at Columbia University. Then we have um, Grace Byers as Quinn. She is a mixed girl. So her father's white, her mother's fair skin, but she looks ambiguous, but she's light skinned, but she's black. And
Mhm.
her thing, she has a boutique. Now her thing was when she graduated from college, she got a successful job. She was making a whole lot of money, but it wasn't her passion. She really wanted to get into fashion. And so her mother is there helping her along the way, is like her provider. Her mother is still supporting her in that way so she can chase her dream. And yeah, that's that on that. And then we have Shoniqua Shandai as Angie. We have the dark skinned girl with the natural hair, and she
Mhm.
is larger than life. I'm gonna call her who can I um, who can I would she
Compare us to him.
yeah, I'm gonna say, would she be Samantha? Yeah, I think she'd be Samantha. I think Grace Briar's Quinn, her character is Charlotte. And I think Jerrie Johnson is Ty. I think her character is Miranda. So those are like my little comparisons to them. And they get
Mhm.
together and they have these nice um chic get-togethers, and they go over life, they do things. Oh my god. This particular episode, y'all, it was so funny. This episode right here where she met this guy, and it feels like she's like the perpetual dater, like she's like a serial dater, like she's going out there trying to meet these guys and find love or whatever.
Mhm.
This particular guy, baby, when I tell you he did something so crazy, I think it was episode one. I think it was episode one, y'all. When I tell you, I don't want to drop, y'all have to see it for yourself, but I'm telling you, you are not going to believe what he did. Okay, so this guy right here, he
Isn't that the guy
yes, from
from
P Valley,
P Valley?
and
Yeah.
from the
He
Have
was
and
on
Have.
Haves and the Have Not. Yeah, Have and Have Nots. That's where I know
Yeah,
him from, even though I don't watch
yes.
it. But
And this was her love interest, but it was back in the day. So then they go and they do kind of like a flashback, and then you see the history of them, and that is something all in its of itself. So he came back into the picture, and she is just like flailing, don't know what to do.
mhm.
He ends up coming back, and he was gone for 5 years, I believe, chasing his dreams, and he comes back engaged. So
Oh gosh.
that was like a whole. You remember what that reminded me of Big and Carrie when he went to Paris or he went to France or something, and he came back with a whole wife, and Carrie
Oh
was
my goodness.
crazy. Yes, this is exactly that. So this was a whole thing in of itself. So this is one of the main. She gets most of the camera time. I think they all share a lot of the camera time, but I think she gets the most. Then we also have Miss Whoopi Goldberg. She is playing a really strong, intense person that Camille is Meagan Good character is trying to work with. And she is very standoffish. She's very matter of factish, and she be seeing Camille coming from a mile away, and she be looking at her like, "What do you want?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what she be giving. So it's funny about that. And then, yeah, like I said, the girls have the little get-togethers and stuff like that. Now, let me tell you, Miss Angie, she's a character. The only reason why I don't really like the way they kind of portray her character, because I think they still put that false dark skin loud.
Right, with the dark
You know
skin
what I'm
girl.
saying?
I got what you're
Yeah.
saying.
I want them to kind of like flip that and make the light skinned girl be that girl. And I don't want that particularly portrayed for my dark skinned girl. So they kind of throw her underneath the bus with those tropes and stuff like that. And also too, yeah, so this is a group of 4 friends following their dreams after graduating from college. So they tackle heavy subject matters like toxic mothers, the strong black woman trope, cuffing season, black mental health. They get into that, and
Okay.
also exploring sexuality. So yeah, so they definitely do that. And like I said, there were a couple of little problematic things. They always throw those things into these shows because of course that's just what it is. But I didn't like that they had the women so desperate. Like, ooh, it was just like it was. I was just like, oh God, they are so desperate. So some of those things kind of turned me off or whatever. But the storyline is entertaining enough. I think they definitely should get a second season. I hope it's greenlit because Malcolm D. Lee, he's the executive producer of this show, and he did Girls Trip, so he
Okay.
knows how to work with an ensemble of girls. So you could definitely tell it was good. It was really good. So yeah, so that concludes my
Amazon, right? Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
yes,
Amazon Prime is on.
30-minute episodes. They drop
Nice.
them all at once, and so yeah,
Oh, 30 minutes. That's not bad.
right.
I like those.